Welcome to the Death Battle Cast, the show where we yell at each other for an hour.
Shut up.
And we're no longer friends afterwards.
No.
Yeah, we all hate
I hate everybody here.
I actually sent that bag of turd on your flaming turd on your doorstep this morning. That was me. That was
it
100%.
Okay, Eobard Thawne.
Yeah, I sent that. Yeah, Amazon was very generous.
You sent it through.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
They gave you the day one. They gave you the 1 day delivery.
I don't think they should have done that, to be honest.
It seems very problematic. Anyway, welcome to Death Battle Cast. We're gonna be talking about two franchises that I don't know anything about today, so I'm not gonna be arguing about them.
Same.
Which is gonna be neat. It's gonna be neat for me to learn about these two characters. But hey, we haven't done this in a little while, so let me introduce myself and who I've got here. Hey, I'm Ben. I'm the voice of Wiz, head writer on Death Battle. Do the Death Battle deal. We got Chad here. It's the voice of Boomstick.
That's
Chad.
me.
Hey there,
What's up, man?
Chad.
I told you before, my dog ate my wall. Anyway.
Yes.
Your dog ate your wall?
Yeah.
We can talk a little bit about that in a bit. It's wild. We got Liam, writer, director, research extraordinaire.
Somebody chats that my mic's peaking. Are you hearing that, Brian?
Your mic's peaking. Person in the chat.
Running
You sure you don't have it turned up?
Smelt it, dealt it, bud.
It might have been when I yelled. It might have been when I yelled "shut up," jokingly.
Yeah.
It's probably what it was.
We're trying to run a show here, guys.
And
then we got DJ.
Hi, hello. I'm DJ. That's me.
You've been on the show before, but since it's been a little while, you want to fill everybody in on who you are, what you do?
I don't believe I've been on the show, but I have been on commentary. So I'm DJ Tiki, as known online. I'm DJ. I go by the research. I do all the quirky and out there characters. I believe one that you probably will realize is probably not Pac-Man, fucking Popeye. Popeye is a recent one. I also wrote Magneto versus Tetsuo. I've been on the show for about 3 or so years now.
Yeah.
So about since the end of season 7.
Yeah, man.
Well, happy to have you on, man.
Amazing researcher, and started writing this year with some wild ass episodes. It's great. It's great, man. Yeah, that's right. It's great to have you on the show, then, dude. So we've got you and Liam arguing for. Make sure I say these names right.
They're not hard to pronounce at all.
It is basic English.
So,
right?
Gojo.
What?
Oh
Gojo.
crap! Okay,
Gojo.
Y'all are killing me.
let me just zoom in. We're
already
Goku versus Superman.
Perfect. There we go.
Hang on. I might need some help with this. Hang on.
Oh, shit.
Gojo versus
wouldn't hit a guy with
Makima
glasses now, would you?
from Jujutsu Kaisen versus Chainsaw Man.
Ben made us explain the names like 7 times in a row before this show started.
It's like, is it Jujutsu Kaisen? Jujutsu Kaido?
I just want to make sure I spelled them right.
Hygiene?
Also, the chat's cracking me up for all the people saying that my dog is wall level.
Yeah.
Can you show the
talk
picture
about
that
that. We do have a wall level feat from Chad's dog. I think that might be fun to talk about later. But I'm very curious about these characters because I've seen both characters in franchises suggested quite a bit lately, and I am very interested in
They're really
exploring them.
popular now. I mean, they're new manga, they're new shonen, but they're really popular. Jujutsu Kaisen is kind of the new like I'm not gonna say standard shonen. It's not like Demon Slayer, but it is like it's a really, really great, solid, amazing. I really enjoy it.
We're basically
everything you want from shonen.
We're basically entering this new era of like dark era manga. So we have like Jujutsu Kaisen, we have Chainsaw Man, we have Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer does count as one, even though the manga is already finished. So we're starting to get into a more like grittier sort of action style of manga that everyone's taking well to. Awesome. And just like, just a little hint of comedy on the side. So I really love both of these series. Actually, I believe I saw Kirby Kid, another researcher in the chat. Also RTX, he actually got me like a Gojo shirt, which I'm wearing right now. So I have to right there.
I saw his hair.
Awesome. Well, as Dude Blade X in the chat says, Ben, Stream already started late. Do we really have time for these gags?
Exactly.
Okay, I hear you. We're just gonna move into the serious
We do
stuff.
have time for
No
these
more
gags.
gags. No more funny business here, guys.
Yeah.
No fun.
No fun.
But I am keeping an eye on the chat. Great to see all these badges going up. Great to have you guys here. Yes, I do see Javier in there as well. That's awesome. All right. So here's how this works. As many of you know, we will be arguing who should win in a death battle. DJ will be manning Gojo. Liam will be arguing for Makima. And the rest of us will be jurors. Chad, myself, and you all in the chat watching this live on Tuesday will be able to vote on who should win. We'll get to that at the end of the show, but this is in the courtroom. Everybody can chime in. So if you've got something you want to say, on something you want to add, or want to counter something that Liam or DJ has to say, let us know in the chat. We'll be watching.
I have something to say.
It always seems to be me. It always
I have
seems to be
something-
If you try to argue against me, I will call you. I will say that you're wrong in chat.
Yeah. We'll see. This is like y'all are about to get like a straight exhibition in terms of a death battle cast debate. I'm so excited. Like when I realized it was DJ going up against Liam, I was just like, this is gonna be found his man.
Liam's been feeling himself a little too much these last casts, and I did not like it. I had to come on.
Yeah, I know. So I'm gonna think back to any of the times that like Liam really dunked on me in a debate, and I'm just gonna enjoy this.
All right.
Well, I'll still keep it objective though.
Liam,
Yeah.
if you'd like to start with your uninterrupted 60 seconds introducing your character.
I'd love to. So unfortunately, Dude Blade X, there is going to be there does have to be time for gags. And specifically, the gag in question is that DJ thinks he has any chance at beating me in the debate. No, I'm just kidding. I actually think this debate is really interesting. And there's a lot of like hacks abilities that go back and forth. It really isn't a raw power kind of debate. And I think that's recognized in the community as a whole. These two characters have tons of crazy abilities. What gives Makima the edge, though, is that she has more crazy abilities. She has more of them. They're more numerous, and they can affect Gojo. Gojo really doesn't have an option of getting around hers, or an option that she couldn't also pretty easily avoid. So a lot of them have options for one-hit killing each other, but Gojo is basically going to have to kill an entire country to get to Makima, and ultimately end up killing himself.
All right.
Okay.
I want you guys to notice he spent a full 25 seconds not on Makima, just on the debate itself. On the matchup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just putting that out there.
I want to save the hard information for. I don't want to give it to you all in one go, Al. I don't want to overload you, like the Cosmos Devil.
Lucas in the chat. That was a lackluster 60 seconds, Liam.
Lucas in the chat.
A lot of people in the chat are asking, "Where's your chart, Liam? Where are the charts?
Where's your scans? Where's your scans? I got 13 of them. Where are your scans?
All right. Well, let's get to your argument, DJ. So you got 60 seconds uninterrupted. Liam, don't interrupt. Go.
All right, so Satoru Gojo, the strongest sorcerer in Jujutsu Kaisen. We're talking about characters that can destroy cities. We're talking about curses, cursed elemental. He is above all that. He is the heaven's chosen one. He has abilities that allows him to virtually not be hit by goddamn anything. You try to hit him, nope, not happening, because he has control over space itself. So if we're talking in terms of stats, we can get into the nitty-gritty. I don't want to spoil too much, but Gojo clearly outstats Makima in a lot of ways. And even though he doesn't have as many numerous abilities as her, what we'll find is that his quality for abilities is way better than Makima could ever do in Chainsaw Man, or even any of the other characters, since we're in part 2 right now, and we still haven't saw anything too impressive on the level of Jujutsu Kaisen. We'll get into domain expansions, reverse cursed energy, all of that shit for healing. So I think got this in the bag. Don't even need to worry about shit.
Can I just point out that we've done this show, and I like to point out these moments where it has changed our brains fundamentally. You said can't get hit by goddamn anything, and I straight up just thought you were going to say can't get hit by God, and I was like right there, like ready to believe it.
It sounds kind of like that. So real quick, because I don't know much about these shows or these manga,
I figured we'd have to have kind of
for Jujutsu Kaisen and Gojo in particular. Can you kind of give me a basic rundown, just like a really brief rundown of like what Gojo does? They fight. Things like that.
Okay, so how Gojo fights, so we have something in the Jujutsu Kaisen world called curse energy. This is the negative energy about every person has negative energy where it's negative thoughts, powers, or thoughts about like killing someone or like humiliation that manifests into curses, which are basically the monsters of the world. So you have the sorcerers that go out and have to destroy these curses, whether it's for payment or they belong to a family. They have to deal with these curses in some sort of way or fashion. So how Gojo fights, since he's the strongest, they have specific curse techniques, and Gojo's technique is that he has control over all space around him. So no attacks can hit him because attacks that come to him will slow down until they are infinitesimally small or infinitesimally slow enough to never touch him. He can repel space, he can condense space like a black hole, he can even eliminate matter on an atomic level. And he's just by far and away above anybody in the Jujutsu Kaisen world. We can start talking about the curses, like with Jogo, who can drop meteors down the ground or create like mountain size. I don't see Makima or anybody in the Chainsaw Man world even doing anything close to it.
Okay, that's a lot. That's pretty cool. Yeah. What about Makima? What's Makima's deal?
So in Chainsaw Man, there are these things called devils. They're like devils. They're like demons, but they also and they live in hell, which is like an alternate dimension. They also are representative of the concepts that they are named after. So the darkness devil represents darkness. And the more powerful a demon is how much more it's feared. So the darkness devil is a primordial devil. It's one of the most powerful because it's the fear. It represents the fear of darkness. Makima is the head of, I forget what the organization is exactly called, but it's essentially like the public safety. It's something public safety.
The public safety devil hunters, I believe.
Right, what I just said. Yeah, public safety devil hunters.
Wait, so are they like it's like a
they hunt devils.
Van Helsing kind of thing? Like, let's go hunt monsters or whatever?
Yeah,
monster hunters?
Basically. Yep. She's the head of the public safety devil hunters and is also a devil herself. She is the control devil. She represents the fear of control. And her abilities are all centered around the idea of controlling people.
I feel like Liam contributes to that one. Not the controlling people, the not having control.
What? Chad, what are you talking about? Shut the heck up. I'm talking, damn it. Makima has the ability to control anyone she considers less than herself, which is everyone in the world, except for one being the Chainsaw Man, for a very specific reason, because the Chainsaw Devil main character has the ability to consume other devils and erase their concepts from existence. Like somebody mentioned nuclear weapons to another character, and the other guy was like, "What? What are you talking about? What are those?" Because he ate nuclear weapons, and that's actually going to lead into the part 2 of Chainsaw Man.
So wait, how does not the concept of fear of chainsaws? No, he's the
he's the fear of chainsaws, but he also has the ability to consume devils and erase
and wipe them from existence.
Except for Makima. Makima is so powerful that she still remembers what those concepts are. Yeah, I don't know. But there you go. And she has control over tons of devils that allow, and she has all of the abilities of those devils that allow her to see into the future, turn intangible. If she touches anybody, they turn to, she can absorb their life force. Crazy stuff like that. But what is going to make it impossible for Gojo to really fuck with Makima here is her ability to control anybody that she thinks is less than her. She made a contract with the Japanese prime minister using this ability, and the contract was that anytime she dies or is hit with a fatal wound, that damage is then redirected to a random Japanese citizen.
Okay.
So
okay.
Liam told me this.
Population of Japan. Yeah. Let's do it right now.
Well, hang on. Before we jump into that, I did want to just double check something.
Yeah.
How did he erase the concept of nuclear weapons?
Eat them.
Oh, he just ate it. He just
ate
it.
every single, like, did he have to eat
Just
every single
swallowed that
nuke?
shit.
No,
No, just
the
one.
nukes might
He
still
might have
exist,
eaten,
right?
there might have been a nuclear weapon devil that he consumed. That might be the case. It's not clear yet. We're going to see what the situation is. The start of part 2 involves the war devil possessing a schoolgirl and being like, I'm going to get the chainsaw devil to vomit up nuclear weapons because I want there to, presumably the war devil wants there to be more war.
Okay,
this
so
is wild.
he didn't go around the world eating all the nuclear weapons. There's something that
He ate the
exists
concept.
as the
We
concept.
don't, yeah,
of it
probably,
that
yeah.
he
Ate the concept. Didn't actually eat the weapons.
Got it.
The
There's a
population of
physical
Japan,
manifestation of a
by the
concept.
way, is 125.8 million. That's how many times Gojo is needed to kill Makima. And here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. DJ, remind me, what country is Gojo from?
So we're doing this question. Liam asked DJ a question. Yeah, Gojo is from Japan. Gojo's from Japan. Go on.
Oh my gosh, he's
all right, go
Japan.
on. All right, I didn't want to bring this up. I didn't want to bring this up too early.
You wanted to save unlimited void for later.
Yeah,
Okay,
I wanted to save
idea-
unlimited void.
it out
For
now.
The
later.
idea is that anytime you deal a killing blow to Makima, instead of Makima dying, some random citizen of Japan dies.
Right.
Yeah,
Which, by the way,
it's like bad luck or illness or something. They just
Liam mentioned this last week in a call that we were having, and then I thought it was so funny. I was like, do they show that in the show? And he's like, no, or in the manga. And he's like, no, they don't. And I was like, could you imagine? Like, I would love that. The comedy cutaway, like every time, like to do like a companion show that's just like Japanese people going around their day and just like, reading the newspaper, and then whatever horrible thing just happened to her, this guy just like randomly. It's really dark, but it's
Makima, where this assassin strike team comes in and like blows a hole in her head and she's like dead. And then they're like, well, we're wrapped up with that, but they don't really know anything about Makima, so she just kind of stands back up and then kills them.
The kill to her isn't transferred to the random citizen, right?
Yeah.
Like if she's blown in the head, the random citizen doesn't just suddenly get an exploding, like their head doesn't explode.
No, it's transferred as form of like bad luck or a disease or something.
Cut to, well, guys, it's my last day from retirement. Like,
that sounds like something Fujimoto would fucking write.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the argument is that Gojo is a Japanese citizen and would be one of them.
Yeah, so eventually, even if he could kill her that many times, he would be one of the citizens who would then have that done to him.
All right, so first of all, there's a lot of Japanese citizens, and Chainsaw Man takes place in the 90s, where its population is a little lower than that. Just like a small point. However, the thing about contracts, there's something in Jujutsu Kaisen called binding vows, which operate exactly the same as Chainsaw Man contracts, where they bind with negative energy, something that Makima also does with the Prime Minister. So, Brian, if you can you pull up gojo3c.jpg?
Here we go.
3C.
3C. Exhibit 3C, please.
Oh, wait. Is it a low resolution?
So
it's just the stream on our end.
Our side that we see is lower
our side.
quality.
Okay. I was about to flip out. I was like, I just did this. All right, so the immeasurable void. So the immeasurable void, we have something in Chainsaw Man called domain expansion. Ben, you're familiar with the Yu Yu Hakusho territories, right?
I'm familiar with expansion. Oh, yeah,
like Yu Yu Hakusho territories. It operates exactly like that. Once you're in the territory, they have certain abilities and like everything stronger for that person that cast it.
Right.
So Gojo's is that he floods your brain with so much information that you can no longer process anything. You can feel everything. You can see everything. All the information is just loaded into your brain. And if I recall correctly, Liam, I believe the contract said all attacks against me are transferred over to the Japanese citizens. So if we're going to be pedantic about it, so if Gojo's just giving you information, he's not really attacking you now, is he? So that would break the contract.
Attack.
I mean, this is real semantic, Z, because that could be considered a mental attack.
Yeah,
right.
That could be considered a mental attack, but he gives that.
DJ's bringing this up because there's an example in the manga of that being broken because something was done to Makima that was not an attack, and it's how she's ultimately beaten by Chainsaw Man. Do we care about spoilers here? Can we just lay spoilers?
We'll get into spoilers in just a little bit. I will say semantics of a devil contract is a very classic type of thing. So it sounds like something that is worth getting into. But I do want to say having a lot of information is a perfect segue into protecting your information with our sponsor, ExpressVPN.
Nailed it.
Maybe not quite. It's not a pact with the devil. Don't worry. No, this episode of Death Metal Cast is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Using the internet without ExpressVPN is like checking in your baggage at the airport without a lock. Anybody could go into it. You think your stuff is kept private, but you never know who's going to go through your extremely private stuff. So when you go online without a VPN, internet service providers can see every single website you visit. They can legally sell this information, even without your consent, to ad companies and tech giants. When you use ExpressVPN, your online activity is protected. ExpressVPN creates a secure, encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet, so nobody can spy on your online activity. And what I like most about ExpressVPN specifically is it's super easy to use. No matter what device you're on, all you have to do is fire up the app and click one button. Just one. And it works on phones, laptops, even routers, so everyone who shares your Wi-Fi will be protected. So secure your online activity today at expressvpn.com/dbc and get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN 3. That's expressvpn.com/dbc. expressvpn.com/dbc.
The only thing I want to add, Ben, because ExpressVPN, seriously, super easy to use, like you said, but also like they have been a long time sponsor, and they were an integral sponsor when we were going into the pandemic. And had to switch over a lot of things, and ExpressVPN came in and they like really believed in us like switching all this stuff over, where they were like, let's sponsor everything. So yeah, huge shout out to them. They were there for us when we needed them. So go sign up if you're going to use a VPN, and you should.
Absolutely. But so not
devil
quite
contract.
as bad as a devil contract. So let's get back to those.
I don't think ExpressVPN can save you from a devil contract, but it could.
But if you're looking them up online, your ISP won't know.
Here's why Unlimited Void or Limitless Void, or whatever the fuck it's called, Unlimited something. I get the
Unlimited Void.
Unlimited Void. It is an attack. It obviously is an attack. And the only you might have an argument if it matched up more closely to what actually defeated Makima in the manga. What happened to Makima was like defined by Denji as an act of love, because he loved her, and he was so Chainsaw Man is able to incapacitate her briefly. This is in the manga, is able to incapacitate her briefly long enough that he was able to chop her into pieces, cook her, and then eat her. And because it was an act of love that he was like bringing her into him and making her one with him, in his mind, it was not an attack, because it was like a I love you, and this is how this is going to work, which is not the same as Unlimited Void, which is done with like an intent to defeat this person. Very much
a hell of a loophole.
So, that's a very big loophole. However, even if you consider Unlimited Void to be an attack, there is a version of it which is explicitly used as a way for evasion and incapacitation. And that's the 0.2 seconds version of the Unlimited Void. So basically, there's 4 powerful curses that are basically jumping Gojo. He doesn't want to hurt any of the humans around him, and he needs to figure out a way to break their curse techniques in order to gain the advantage. So he thinks like, okay, if I open and close the domain expansion very quickly in like a 1/5 of a second, then that'll give me the edge that I need to win. And with that domain expansion, he was able to get the drop on one of the curses and kill her outright. So even
well, I want to point out that even if it was viewed as an attack, it's infinite information. So wouldn't it infinitely? It would literally then every single Japanese citizen would all be immobilized because the information.
But would you
is
consider
infinite.
Would you consider one piece of information to be an attack? Because you're just receiving information. It's like
no. What he's saying is that like that information. What he's actually saying is very much like an actual devil that exists in Chainsaw Man, which is the Cosmos Devil, which takes you into like controls your mind and then floods your brain with an infinite amount of information. That was spread. It's actually funny that the same thing kind of happens in Chainsaw Man. Is that there was this other devil that controls dolls, essentially like it has like people that they control across the entire globe, and their brains are all flooded with infinite information, and it just makes you go Halloween because it's infinite. It drove them all insane. Now, obviously, unlimited void doesn't drive you insane. It just basically incapacitates you. So it's a different kind of thing. It wouldn't like insta kill Makima, and it especially wouldn't work because Makima knows everything about Gojo and what Gojo is going to do, because one of the devils that she has under her command is the future devil, which can see into the future. So before the fight even starts, she's going to know everything that she needs to know about Gojo and how his abilities work.
So, Liam, would you say so? Devils in the Chainsaw Man world, if I'm correct, is brought about by the fear of those devils.
Yes,
right?
That is correct.
So, would you say fear is a negative emotion?
Yeah. I know what you're setting me up for.
So Gojo has something. No. So Gojo has his beautiful blue eyes, which are called the six eyes. And with those, he can see curse energy and curse techniques. And from a glance, he can learn basically everything about an opponent at just one thing. So if Makima is the control devil, and she's brought about for the fear of control devils or control, then Gojo would have no problem reading like what her deal is all about. Sure, he might not be able to know, or maybe he could, because like every devil in the Chainsaw Man world has this negative aspect about them. So Gojo's six eyes would be easily able to tell, oh, she got the future devil. Oh, she can control all these devils, and he'll know how to sort of compartmentalize it because he outstats basically all of them.
A,
so he can just like
know all of that information before he uses it, right, with the future devil. B, just because devils get stronger based on the fear of humanity doesn't mean they actually possess like what's called cursed energy in Jujutsu Kaisen.
Well, cursed energy, like, not every human can sense cursed energy. Like everyone just exudes it just by living their daily lives. So if we were to do this sort of equivalency of like power systems, it would the humans in the Chainsaw Man world would absolutely be exuding cursed energy if they were in Jujutsu Kaisen.
So the question is she actually just entirely comprised of the thing that he could see?
Yes, exactly.
Well, is Gojo does Makima actually exude any negative emotions herself? Right? Does she possess any negative emotions?
She is
no, right?
She is emotionless. She's emotionless, but she doesn't like as far as like a personality, quote unquote. But like at the end of like Denji versus Makima, we see that like she gets like visibly angry because like the actual Chainsaw Man devil does not want to see her or like want to acknowledge her in any way, that she's been trying to control him for so long. She even went out of her way to make Denji popular so the Chainsaw Man could get weaker, and she still couldn't do anything about controlling him.
So she can feel emotions like anger like anybody does, but she herself possesses none and actually is doing all of this for the good of humanity.
No, she's doing this
no emotions. In her mind, she's doing this to save people. She's doing this for like a just cause. She might be wrong, but she's not like actively pursuing evil. It's just that devils are powered by this concept of fear. It's not the same.
Yes, but not every curse in so there's a religion in Jujutsu Kaisen that gets into like Gojo's backstory. I won't spoil it because that's going to be animated very soon. But basically, those curses are trying to better humanity too, and they still have cursed energy. So I don't understand like why Makima, who is trying to better humanity and is like presumably like very nonchalant, doesn't have any emotion at all. We see her have emotion at the end of the manga.
For the sake of time, and these are two different rules in different universes, let's just say, because of the future devil, she knows all she needs to know about Gojo, and then because Gojo's got his special eyes, he knows all that he needs to know about what she can do, right?
Okay.
So let's move on.
Also, one thing I do want to bring up seems like a good balance for it at the moment. Do you have a question, Chad?
No, I was gonna say the one thing I wanted to bring up was that it looked like Gojo needed to touch the dude to do the information thing. He had to grab his head.
No, he didn't. That was he. Just needs to do like a basic hand sign. I believe in the manga that he says that he's trying to learn how many hand signs how many hand signs he does for his techniques. He actually activates it with just like a cross of his fingers. Okay. Like he doesn't need to actually touch.
So we've talked a little bit about how Gojo could deliver a killing blow, right? With the information, with the level of power that's equivalent to dropping meteors and whatnot. What does Makima have that could actually take down Gojo?
Let's see. Ryan, could you bring up
there we go.
One. Now this image is not going to be a slam dunk in and of itself. We're going to build up to that. So Makima's main ability as a control devil is to essentially blow people up. So she just points at people and goes bang. Now that's just killing Power, who's the blood devil. Could you do image 2, Brian?
Her whole torso is gone.
That's sending Chainsaw Man into orbit. Now, that took a couple of bangs, but she was also being very casual about that.
So
DJ,
it's a force. It's not like an explosive. She's not causing like cells to erupt. She's launching a force.
Is that true, DJ?
No. Or she's not like causing. She's causing a recursive force to like blow people up. Like it's an actual force. It's not like some.
Would that work on a Gojo? Like if she pointed at
it's concussive,
no,
right?
it would not. Yeah, it's concussive, so it wouldn't work.
Why?
Because Gojo has a little ability, infinity. Yeah. So can we bring up image 1A for Gojo, please?
Yeah,
this is great.
I'm excited.
1A.
Oh,
what is 1A?
Zoom it up.
Right, so,
okay.
I have to pull it up on my end.
Which part are we looking at here?
All right, so we can go from the top. So basically, Gojo's whole deal is that whenever objects or attacks get close to him, he can detect the mass automatically, and they don't reach him because they keep getting slower infinitely, and they will never touch him because they become infinitely slower in velocity.
Yeah, he's not even trying to move here.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, he's not even trying to move here. This sorcerer throws knives at him. They virtually stop. They stop. They're still moving.
It just himself. Like, is he conscious?
No, he does not. No, he does not have to activate himself. After this arc, actually, because someone figured out how to get around it, because he did have to use manual activation. He's like, okay, I need to work on this and make it automatic as opposed to manual. And I actually do have the scan for him going manual. Let me see, which one is it?
And so you're saying the force of Makima's bang would count as an object that's stopped.
Yes, that's because it has mass.
It goes out from her as she's pointing.
Right.
Image 3, Brian. No, it doesn't. What force would have gone forward from her into that guy's brain to give him a brain hemorrhage without hurting his nose?
Or her control power actually
originated,
but her control power. But her control power lets her control people that she sees as inferior to her. She's not going to see some like random NPC as just like, oh, this is a guy that I need to go serious against. She'll have control and just kill him instantly.
Let me understand this.
All right, go ahead.
Her is a random NPC. Yeah.
No, I was talking about the scan. No, I was not. I was talking
about the scan, not the fight.
I'm talking about the scan.
She's not going to feel that Gojo is inferior to her, even though she feels everyone is inferior to her.
If she sees someone flying, teleporting, causing black holes and shit, she's not going to consider him.
I'm not doing anything to her. Can't die. She's incapable of death. According to what Gojo.
Okay, so Devils in the Chainsaw Man world has to regenerate. Can she actually come back from atomization? Or are we just going to say that she's going to pop back up from existence because Gojo has stuff for atomization?
Yeah, why not?
If we have,
I mean, is it a specific healing factor that like she transfers her pain to?
It transfers the fact that she died onto somebody.
But you said we saw the hole in her head, right?
Yeah, you're right. So if you just obliterated her and there was nothing left, then some random Joe Schmo is obliterated or whatever.
And if only like Gojo has some way to like obliterate no matter left. Brian, can we get 1D, please?
I like how
I'm
all
having
these are
fun.
like sub-labeled. It's not just 1, 2, 3. It's 1D,
1D, 1D.
D as in dog.
1D as in dog. So this is Gojo's bread and butter. One of his most powerful techniques. It's called Hollow Purple. So he takes the repulsion aspect and the convergence aspect of two of his primary cursed abilities, and he combines them into an imaginary technique, which is purple. So red and blue, purple. And so Yuji and Toto were fighting this super powerful curse. And once he used it, he basically erased all this space and made a completely new chasm. So it's in the very end of that image. Can Makima survive that? Can Makima come back from that?
I don't see why not. It's not passing. If it was passing like a wound to somebody else, then maybe I could see that. But it's not. It's passing like the fact that she died to somebody else. Also, again, she would be seeing this coming, right? She would just leave. She would teleport away.
But precognition isn't that good unless you can prove that she has the speed to match it. Where's your speed feats at?
I was curious. That's why I originally brought up the head touching.
You start actually with the speed feats because your speed feat is lower. So you want to build up.
All right. Fuck you. So Gojo 4A. This is if you can bring that up, please, Brian. Gojo 4A. This is one of the speed feats. So Jogo summons a meteor from space and chucks that shit at one of the premier curses. And at the beginning of the series, so for those that's not initiated with Jujutsu Kaisen, if you haven't watched it yet, so the main character has to basically eat like 20 fingers of the King of Curses in order to like reach his full power. Sure. I won't get into the specifics why, but they need to execute him after he eats all 20 fingers. So this guy right here at the beginning of the series gets absolutely bullied by Gojo. And he says like, oh, how many fingers are you? I was like, oh, I'm like 8 or 9. So Sukuna, like with 15 fingers, he takes control over and does battle with him. Jogo summons a meteor from space, chucks at him, and Sukuna is fine. We're talking like a weaker character that can just like cause things, that can throw things from space however he wants to. And then characters like Satoru Gojo or Sukuna, who is way, way faster than that. I don't think that there's anything in the Chainsaw Man universe that's like reaching that level.
We're talking a little confused.
How fast? How fast is that? Give me a Mach. It's Mach 72.
I believe. Yeah, it's Mach 72.
Mach 25. 72,000 kilometers per second. Mach 25, something like that. Makima fought the Gun Devil,
all right,
which is a giant gun devil. There's lots of scans, so I'm not going to bring up a scan. Although I guess if you want, like,
I know what you're going to bring it up because I calced it, not you.
Yeah.
You guys,
I'm not looking at your calc. Actually, I'm looking at somebody else's.
He knows your calc, and you know his calc. What is going on here?
This is madness.
Most of Japan in a couple of seconds, and then start firing at Makima from at some. It's the exact location is unclear, but we know that the full distance between them is 500 kilometers, and he crosses it in only a few seconds and shoots at her in only about 1 second. And actually, the speed of that would be about Mach 500, Mach 100 to 500. There's a range.
No. Because in that specific scan, he goes from 500 kilometers, and then he goes a specific distance that we do not know. I believe I calc this. Let me go ahead and find that. I'm fairly certain that the number that you're getting is a lot lower than Mach 500, sir.
Yeah.
Also, Michael in the chat says Makima needed to use other people to fight the Gun Devil.
Exactly.
That wouldn't affect speed. She literally sees him, and they fight.
She's not like getting boosted by their power or something. No, okay.
I mean, she's getting multiple abilities and multiple bodies to throw against them, but that doesn't affect speed scaling.
Lord, does it? No, just kidding. This is great. I'm having an absolute blast.
This is great. Also, I'm like trying to keep track of everything.
Screenshots from Discord.
All right, so
just no.
I'm not taking screenshots. I'm just reading what I.
Right, because it would be bad if I took any screenshots.
I took some time. I was like, okay, if this is like a forest, in like Japan or whatever, how far away would that be? And give or take, there's maybe 430 kilometers as a like rough estimate that the gun devil traveled. And Makima doesn't actually move in tandem with it. She moves in tandem with the shots, which are moving way slower than the gun devil itself. So how are we saying that Makima scales fully to the
gun devil is slower, or the bullets of the gun devil are slower than the gun devil itself?
No, because Makima died to a slower bullet from the gun devil. He goes that distance, shoots, Makima dies. It says in the panel, confirmed death of Makima. Yeah. She just heals from it.
She doesn't
move at all.
Because she doesn't move at all. She doesn't have to dodge any attack. Right?
Yeah, all right.
And then the demons and then the devils that she fights are able to fight the gun devil.
But you would think if she could have dodged it, she would have done that there, right?
She would have dodged it.
Yeah, was there like
why did the devils that fight the gun devil are not blitzed by the gun devil, right? She defeats the gun devil. The gun devil is
she defeats the gun devil with like 6 other devils that she had to explicitly plan to get into a trap and then put on the punishment devil with like stacked with like 7 other demons to kill him.
Yeah, if the punishment devil drops on the gun devil from above, if the gun devil was like way faster, it would just get out of the way.
But he just stood there. He just stood there. He just stood there. Noticed Makima and then just stood there and shot.
All right, we're gonna need to get to the poll in just a bit. But for this bullet, was there any particular reason why she would want to just take it? Because like I assume
likely because she can regenerate from it.
But yeah, but that
isn't enough.
Is it instant?
It takes like a few seconds, but like it's a wound. It's like a bludgeoned wound. It's not like getting out of.
Would it have logically made more sense for her in that moment to just dodge it and continue whatever she was doing?
I believe so. I believe it would have made more sense for her to just dodge it.
Literally would have changed nothing. Would have changed absolutely nothing about.
She wouldn't have had to like do the whole shebang of sending her pain over to somebody else.
Nope, it's not. That's a passive thing.
But doesn't it like take a moment to recover from that? Like if you got a hole in your head,
the devils are still have that she's controlling.
When she got shot in the head by some random guy on the, it took like a minute or to get back up. Just saying.
Now was the question one last question about it? Was that minute like her healing herself or whatever, or was it just for dramatic effect? She's a
ding.
It could have been for dramatic effect, but like any little points. You're bringing up the gun devil, but where's the justified scaling to it? I can see it.
The devils fight. They literally fight the gun devil, and
but Makima defeated it like having 7 other devils while he was staying still. I'm just saying. Hands up.
All right. It sounds like we have a lot of different powers that.
I got one other point. Can I make one other point? And it's actually I'll make
do it quick. Do it quick. And you're just gonna have a chance to counter.
Power, which would be able to control the blood in Gojo's eyes and prevent him.
She doesn't keep control over power. Power breaks free and helps Denji out.
The only time in the entire series, and she only does it briefly. And she
it's possible to break out of control.
She actually has control over her for the entirety of the point where she killed her up to that point. It was only Power's relationship with Denji that gave her the willpower to break it.
It's not perfect. But it's not perfect. It's not perfect.
And then, but that also means control power in this instance, which would control the blood in Gojo's eyes and prevent him from using any of his abilities, regardless of range.
But does Gojo just naturally have enough willpower to break out of that? Because you said Gabe had
unless every other character in the series has like absolutely no willpower to speak of. Like Gojo is a reckless, like full of himself, egotistical guy.
So there are abilities called simple domains, which basically cancel out like any powers that the cursed that the sorcerer has. And Gojo is able to break free from like one of these like nullifying abilities by just being stronger. Like he just like, oh, you're trying to nullify my abilities? Well, you're not up for the task, and he just kills one of them. So if he's just stronger, then I don't think that Makima is gonna like nullify his abilities outright.
Jack with chat has
that's such a good one.
If Makima were to dodge, she would be acknowledging the gun devil is greater than her, and then she would lose power. That's an interesting idea.
Actually, that does make. I was about to. Aside from arguing, that actually does come in.
That probably does make sense.
Real quick, how does the control thing work? Does she just look at them and then bam, it happens?
She can also dominate your mind. As long as she looks at you.
She can. He can. Oh, wait. Hold on. So she can dominate the mind, right?
Yeah.
If only Gojo was refreshing his brain every second of every minute of every day.
What does that even mean?
So then you don't refresh your brain every now and then? It's like a computer reformat.
Can we put it in the recycle bin?
can we bring up 3D? So there's something, they were like, hey, Gojo, like, you're using all these abilities, it's like brain on your brain. He's like, oh no, it's fine. Like, I just refresh my brain like every second. I'm always going to new day with like a new brain. So even if Makima controlled him by having limitless, she'll just refresh that. So even if theoretically it does work, I don't even think
that's not what that's not what refreshing his brain means. It doesn't break mind control. It refreshes his brain's ability to like control his abilities so that he's kept in like a constantly like they're talking about like, how do you keep this stuff active? He's like, well, I have this.
Yeah, he's healing. He's using reverse curse technique, which is naturally a healing factor, and he's using that on his brain to refresh.
It is a self recovery. It does say it's a self recovery.
It does say it's a jujitsu technique, so it is a healing thing. It could potentially heal whatever is infecting his brain, aka the domination.
So even if it did work, he could just refresh his brain and be.
We need to move on, guys. This has been incredible. You guys have had a lot of good back and forth there. We do have we do have some polls and stuff to get to. I will say real quick before we get to it, let's go ahead and bring up the poll in the chat. Gojo versus Makima. See which one you guys watching this live on Tuesday think should win. You'll be able to vote in there once that's up. But also, if you have not seen it yet, a new Desk of Death battle is up. This one's all about Tales and the crazy shit that happens.
I wrote that one.
Comics.
Ben basically told me, he was like, hey Liam, here's an idea for a Desk of Death battle. You hear this shit that happens?
Well, I brought it up as one when we were brainstorming ideas for it, and it seemed like a good one.
You were the primary
it's a story from the Archie comics that lasted 10 years that I remember reading about as a kid, and it never finished during my read time of Sonic. And then I learned later they eventually finished it in like the back of an issue. It's really stupid. Check it out. It's a ridiculous one. And Jocelyn is back also, or Jocelyn is of course covering that one. And also we will be revealing the next death battle next week. So stay tuned to next week's Death Battle cast to learn what the next death battle is. There might be a little hint in some other death battles. All right, so let's get to the community answers from you guys that you posted in the community tab on the YouTube channel. Let's go ahead and bring up the first one.
All right, this one comes from An Optic Shade. If I'm correct, if someone is too full of themselves, they can't be controlled by Makima, and Gojo, being Gojo, so far beyond being full of himself. So I highly doubt she could control him, and without the control over Gojo, she couldn't touch him.
Interesting. Okay.
No idea where that comes from.
I don't know either, but I'm agreeing with you.
I think that sounds like a great argument to me. Let's go ahead and bring up the Makima
I don't know where that comes from.
This one comes from Lucas. You're all severely underestimating Makima. Makima can only be killed by being... spoiler. Any other attack will only kill Japanese citizens due to her contract with the Prime Minister. She would suffer no real damage. Plus, Makima has the ability to control multiple devils, some of which are abstract concepts like the Future Devil or the Gun Devil.
Is the Gun Devil the devil of all guns?
Lucas, because I know you're in chat, Lucas. He doesn't have control over the Gun Devil, because that was just a Gun Devil fragment she fought.
Real quick, if you were to kill the Gun Devil, would guns just cease to exist? Is that how that works?
If the Chainsaw Man were to eat the Gun Devil, then they would cease to exist.
That's her goal.
I have something.
I control the Chainsaw Man, the Chainsaw Devil, so that he eats all the bad things in the world.
Gotcha. Okay.
So real quick. We've talked about so much stuff. It's been so much information. And I think it would be very helpful if both of y'all just stated, like, what's the killing move very succinctly? Right?
Very briefly. One sentence. Killing move.
Why does...
Killing move, unlimited void to a hollow purple combo. Atomizes Makima, she doesn't come back.
So overwhelms her so she can't move, and then atomizes her into nothing.
And everybody else. Okay, yeah.
And potentially all of Japan.
Liam.
Uses control or power to fuck with the blood and organs inside of Gojo's mind, destroying his ability to use his eyes and crippling him entirely. And then just killing him, like, in any other ways that she can kill him.
All right, we are going to start with the poll that you guys already voted on in the community tab. Let's go ahead and bring that up.
Oh,
Gojo's got an 83% win on this one. Interesting.
Gojo is the new hotness. We haven't come back when the anime comes out.
All right, whatever. Liam. All right, Gojo's got one vote already. I don't know. I am I'm
so
which
torn.
direction to go, Chad. What do you think?
I'm in the exact same boat. While we think about it, this is a very quick question, but Austin had brought up that the chat really wanted to know, was this what our normal research calls go like?
No,
actually, no. We are usually in agreement. Like we talk about it beforehand.
We talk about it exactly.
Yeah.
There's very little actual debating. It's more like explaining the concept to you guys and getting and like making
research calls are more about like generally a lot of this stuff has already been covered, and we are more so narrowing down whether we are more so just agreeing or disagreeing on whether or not
certain things
like we would present, like in this case, is Makima's bang ability like a force thing or not, and how would that affect? And we would just focus on that and then decide that and move on. And it's not an argument. It's not an argument or debate, really, even though we call it
the only time it's ever been an argument is when for Kool-Aid Man versus Macho Man.
Hey, dude, you came out swinging. I was literally about to bring that up.
So we set that up. So when me and the other researcher, Kuma TH, I was like, okay, I don't want to know anything about Macho Man. You're not going to know anything about Kool-Aid Man. We're just going to go in the call and debate about it.
Oh, yeah, they went ham. It was awesome. That's what I was going to
typically they everybody works together on it from the start. All right.
I don't know how they actually would kill each other.
It's tricky. So on one hand, I'm thinking Makima's. I don't necessarily see how Makima could. I mean, maybe through the control thing, could take out Gojo, but I've seen a lot so far today to suggest that Gojo could basically tank whatever Makima's going to throw at him. At the same time, Makima's connection to every citizen in Japan.
That's what I'm hung up on too. Is it a draw? Is it that he kills himself enough that he also kills himself?
Well, all right. So that brings up sort of a nebulous thing about death battles, that he's a citizen from Japan in a different time in a different era. So for this case, I would say, at least for now, no, it would not end up killing himself. I feel like that's doesn't hold up here.
We should do this one. We should.
If he's able to kill everybody, if he's able to send information to every single person and wipe out the entire Jesus, as insane as it would be, everybody all at once. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to say Gojo. I feel like I could change my mind in a second, but I feel like I have to say Gojo.
The question comes down to me is the atomization thing, and if she can come back from that or not. And I mean, the control is also there, but I don't think she. But the other thing is, it's her own perception, right? I know we're out of time. But like, it's her own perception of whether or not she's above somebody, right?
Yeah.
So starting out the fight, she's gonna assume that she is. So I think she could use control.
Yeah. You vote Makima?
I'll vote Makima just because.
Okay, we got 2 Gojo, 1 Makima.
We got 2.
Let's go ahead and wrap up the chat poll and bring that up, and this will decide it. It might be a tie. Holy shit!
What did the sweep?
We'll see what happens. Okay.
Nope, never mind.
Gojo, 73%. All right,
can we get a Gojo sweep in chat? Can we get a Gojo sweep in chat?
That means Gojo wins. But I'm very curious how this would hold up for like a full death battle, because this is very complicated. What a bizarre matchup.
It's hard to answer questions.
Yes,
even though I was repping Gojo, like Chainsaw Man's like my favorite ongoing. So I definitely
Fujimoto's my favorite mangaka currently.
Yeah,
just everything he does is fucking. DJ and I always freak out whenever he releases like a side story, like Goodbye Eri. I fucking cried.
All right, thank you to everybody who tuned in. DJ, thanks for coming on the show. And
yeah, man, thank you.
Wrecking Liam.
That was awesome.
Somebody could do it.
It was coming. It was coming.
I can't say wrecking Liam. This is actually very close.
That was awesome.
Ben.
What the hell?
Yeah, Ben, keep that. I'm gonna keep that in mind next time we have a little debate.
We'll see. I'll get first choice on who we argue though.
You God powered him out the gate the other week, so like,
yeah, you already got your All right, and thank you to everybody who watched this live. If you haven't, we do this live every Tuesday, and members can join in the chat and
Free Central
argument. Awesome. So thank you all for joining us. As always, be kind to others, be kind to yourself, be awesome. We will see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.